Oh yeah, help with your hand in the way.
Make sure you video her feet too.
I'm getting afraid. Hello. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about volunteering. Giving back to the community is something that's reinforced throughout your whole life. As a child, they make it fun. As a teenager, you do it during school time. As a college student, it's virtually required if you want to get a scholarship or get into a good college. But in adulthood, that's purely up to you. Well, what I found was when I reached my adulthood was that I no longer had any ties to giving back to the community. It never meant enough to me. I was too busy partying, hanging out with friends, to actually care about anything other than myself. I was in a hedonistic period. But in the military, as a staff sergeant, I had a troop who ended up losing his house in a fire. He had a wife, a young son, and a daughter on the way. This pulled at my heartstrings. I knew I had to do something. I had to help this family. So I organized an effort to get them all their household goods, clothes, and basic necessities for starting and beginning a new life. From that moment, something had changed. I had actually made an impact on somebody's life. If not made an impact, made it easier. Soon my sense of community started to become contagious. I wanted to help and volunteer in any way. And that's what I want to talk to you guys today about, is volunteering and the actual benefits that you can get from it. Not to mention that there's actual heroes here in your local community that are making a difference every day. And that the personal gains that you will get from volunteering goes unmatched. Lastly, I want to let you know that in Brevard County, there's volunteer opportunities right at your doorstep, just waiting for you to help. But the fact is, it's missing one ingredient. It is missing you. So today, by the time I'm done speaking with you, I hope you have a renewed value of why it's important to give back to community and humanity. Like I said, there's local heroes in our community. The first one I want to start with is a personal friend, Eric Hargraves. He's a firefighter for Brevard County. He's always led a good life, had a great family. Well, unfortunately, his youngest son was stricken with leukemia, and at 17 years old, he succumbed to that disease. Eric, down in the depths, not knowing what to do, knew that if he wanted to have any life at all, he had to have a life for his son. He had to fight for what his son had to give up his life for. Therefore, he developed the Screw Cancer Society. This society is dedicated to raising money to help families in the same type of peril to make sure they're getting the best of care that's possible, and he won't stop until leukemia is cured. Secondly, I want to talk to you about Rene Rubiela. Rene Rubiela was military master sergeant. What's odd about this story is the close ties it has with me. I was security forces in the military. I responded about my second year in the military to a scene where a young girl had been in a car accident. She had hit a dumpster because she was texting and driving at the same time. Rene Rubiela came up on scene too and realized it was his daughter. His daughter Allie was 16 and her life was taken in ignorance. She was texting while driving. Rene had that same sense of valor. He knew that he didn't want another day to go on without any kid dying because they're texting and driving at the same time or talking on the phone at the same time. So he developed Operation Now. Operation Now is engaged at teenagers, and most likely this happens during their prom time and times when life seems so hectic that you don't even have time to pull over. But he shows the importance of pulling over because he has real life reenactments of what a car crash is like just because you decide to text on the phone, and the depths of hurt that each family member will face, all in real life reenactments. This Operation Now has gone so big, it has went to 26 different military installations, affecting over 136 high schools and about 50,000 teenagers every year. He is able to get out his message so that his daughter's death wasn't in vain. But not every charity event is about death. Beverly Venuta of Keep Brevard Beautiful actually founded this in 1987. But the reason she found this was her high school senior year decided to do a prank at the high school. She wanted to egg the school. So her and about 5 other buddies egged it, got caught, and as part of their punishment, she had to dedicate over 200 hours to cleanup of the beaches. Well, probably somewhere in between, and she started to realize the importance of just how much trash was on the beaches in Brevard, and just how important it was to keep it clean. So they started on a small scale level. It just started with beach cleanups. Soon, they developed their own motto, and it was to motivate and educate, to reduce litter, recycle, landscape, and beautify the environment for the economic benefit of Brevard. And I say the economic benefit because since the founding of Keep Brevard Beautiful, they've been able to employ 37 personnel just to keep our areas clean. And the importance of this is we bring about 500,000 visitors from around the world just to see our beaches. So it is a viable, lucrative effort that we keep our beaches clean and beautified for all to see. Another side of Keep Brevard Beautiful is they actually educate our younger children about the importance of recycling and litter and how to pick up after yourselves. So far, they've gone to 8 different schools and over $20,000 of funding each and every year. Now, you've heard about our local heroes, but why is that important? Booker T. Washington once said, if you want to lift yourself up, lift someone else up. To give you background on Booker T. Washington, he was a freed slave. And he never lost sight of community. He fought for it till his dying day. But you know, we've all lost sight of community. According to the Volunteer Worldwide Organization, people in their age bracket of 20 to 40 has seen a 70% decrease in volunteer efforts since 2007. But it's hard to understand because there are just so many rewarding efforts that come with volunteering. I've had a few of my own. Think about it. When you go volunteer, usually it's sponsored by some big corporate event, correct? And along with that, they have to send their top executives to be the face of that company. So while you're volunteering alongside of them, you have the opportunity to meet them and network with them. As I mentioned before, firefighters, they volunteer there. And if there's one thing I know about firefighters, is they know a little bit about a whole lot. I mean, just by knowing one firefighter, you can get everything done, right? The other thing is I wanted to talk to you about is Adam Smith, the father of economics. He says, concern for our own happiness recommends us to prudence, concern, and for that of other people. What he's trying to say in the old language is that a direct relationship with volunteering enhances your self-satisfaction. And if you know anything about the pyramid of a human life form, the bottom pyramid, the base of that pyramid, is how you feel about yourself. So in return, as you're volunteering, you're actually making yourself a better person for you. You operate more efficiently, you feel better all around. The best part with volunteering also is you can develop a new skill or even learn a new trade. With Operation Now, there's acting involved. That gives you an opportunity to explore your thespian side. Or like with me, I realized that if just one person can spur a whole community, which I had about 120 people gathered together to help just one person, could you imagine if I had to network for 10,000 people, how many people I could get together? I finally realized that I had a mission and I could market myself and actually provide for the common good of people. And I've never let that go to waste. Being charitable offers you endless possibilities. Sometimes the reasons why you volunteer is something that's near and dear to your heart, an adversity you've overcome. Sometimes it's just for something you enjoy. The great part about that is you never have to leave Brevard County if you'd like to volunteer. In the next few weeks, I'm going to talk about what's actually going on in your area. The first one up is on September 26th at Seagull Park. There's going to be a cleanup. As I told you before, this is an excellent opportunity to sit there and communicate and meet new people. So far, they have big names such as Sprint, DynCorp, Lockheed and Martin. Now, we all know those to be power drivers in the area. And the best part about it is you can bring your animal on the beach, which we don't get to do very often. But speaking of furry friends, I wanted to tell you about Save Our Pets. This is going on October 1st and 2nd. It's a carnival. Kids can come, family can come. You'll have a blast. You have rides, you have games, and it all goes towards animals. There's also going to be a live adoption center there. That way you can find your own furry friend. Or if you have supplies or money you'd like to donate to help the cause. And this is going to the SPCA, which is our Space Coast Pet Society. The last one is aimed at all you motorcycle riders. In here, I know I have a lot. On December 5th, mark down the date, it's the ABATE Toy Run. And if you know about the ABATE Toy Run, these toys are accepted at Merritt Island Mall, where it begins. There's about a 10 to 15 mile motorcycle ride. What's unique to this year is they're lacking funding. They're lacking funding to make sure that your checkpoint setups when you cross major roads are funded by the local cops. And if you can't do that, donate more toys, because there are a lot of kids in this day that don't have Christmases and probably won't be able to see one without our help. I'm not asking you necessarily after hearing all these things to volunteer out of obligation, but just be open to the fact that you, each and every single one of you, can make just an impact, maybe even a difference in this world. And you want to do it because you may meet someone that you never would have thought in a million years you were able to meet. Or you may learn a new skill that you can actually utilize in life. Or even better, you'll just feel better right here. Now, I don't want to drone on and on and on, but I do want to leave you guys with one last thought. In every community, there is work to be done. In every nation, there are wounds that need healed. But in every heart, there is the power to do it. Thank you guys very much and have a wonderful night.